I am not a certified financial advisor, but I'm going to give you financial advice. It is good to diversify your investments, not just within cryptocurrency, but in general. Although we may have dreams of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency taking over the financial system, destroying central banks and no more dollars, but the reality is for a while, I think there will be dollars, and traditional investments and stocks have been a good place for long-term appreciation of your money, which is basically the owning of companies, the owning of businesses. Again, cryptocurrency creates a whole new business model. They're not companies. You're owning, you're part of an decentralized ecosystem. It's very exciting. But the company, the system, a stock, giving you ownership in a company is something that has been around for several hundred years. The bottom line is it is safer. Stocks used to be considered the crazy, risky way to make money. And now it's it's still riskier, and you can get great returns. Maybe not 10x a month, Lambo's baby, but when you get older, one thing I learned when I got older is you start to appreciate the boring investments that just grow over time, and you don't have to worry about them. You may love studying, the cryptocurrency movements and working at a business long hours every day, but when you get older, it's nice to have something that just makes money and you don't have to work. And so there are some stock investments you can own where you don't have to worry about anything. So I put these up here already here. E-Trade and Ameritrade.com are two places where you can open up an account and buy stocks. Now, did I say at the beginning of this, I'm not a financial advisor? For some reason I'm supposed to tell you this? There you go. You want to find out about me, you can research and see who I am. And I'm just someone 50 years old who's done pretty well with money. I've learned a lot. I've got scars to prove it. Giving you my best advice, all right? Now, one thing that a lot of people do with stocks is they give it to a money manager who manages it. They probably do okay, but they take 2% a year out of your money. Maybe 1% if you find someone less expensive. Here's a better option than that. There's two, I'll give you two here. These are the tickers, okay? VOO, it's the S&P 500 index. VTI is the whole market. It's like owning every stock in the stock market. This is like owning 500 biggest stocks. Now here's the thing. So owning the S&P 500, a lot of us have, and I've struggled with this myself. We all want to beat the market. We want to do better than everyone. We don't want to just do the average. First of all, you have cryptocurrency. If you're in cryptocurrency, there's your beta, there's your excitement, there's your chance to get rich and beat the market in cryptocurrency. In the stock market, if you want to beat the stock market, you're going to spend. The reason I feel like I have a chance to do well in cryptocurrency is there aren't a lot of really great researchers in it now because it's so early. Most of the investors, if you can call them that, are crazy kids who have dreams, like not sophisticated investors. In the stock market, you have high-paid geniuses trying to figure out what are the best stocks to buy. Very hard to beat the market. So if you just buy the market, and here's the thing, I used to think, well, if I just own the market, I'm only going to do the average. I'm not going to beat the market. But that's not true. You're going to do this average, but the average stock investor does worse than the S&P 500. That means a lot of these high-paid analysts that I'm talking about cannot beat the S&P 500. That's their goal, and most of them don't do it. So if you just buy this, and the expense, remember I said if you get a money manager, they may charge 1 or 2%. This, I can't remember, but maybe it's 0.2 or 0.3% goes to managing this. So if you just take your money and dollar cost average it, and I would think in terms of years for this, it's been going up. If you look at the chart, S&P 500, we've had a great run since 2009. So I'm making this video, you know what that means? Tomorrow it starts going down, right? But long-term view. Are all companies in the U.S., the 500 biggest companies in the U.S. going to exist? And they update it, tweak it sort of once a year. There's still going to be 500 great companies in the U.S. 20 years from now. Even Warren Buffett says, for most people, just buy this and hodl. You can hodl this. Again, this is a great 10, 20-year or longer play. VTI, and speaking of Warren Buffett, now here's another one. He owns thousands of hundreds of businesses, and and it's different than this. He has been famous for actually being able to beat the S&P 500. They've gotten so big that, I don't know, maybe they won't, but you could buy a little Berkshire Hathaway as well. Can you read that? BRKB. It's on the crease there. BRKB is Berkshire Hathaway. These are things that you can accumulate over time and not worry about it. You don't have to study, you don't have to look at it, and if the market starts, going way down, you buy a little extra, don't sell, it's going to come back. Unless you think, the whole companies are going to stop existing. It's just not going to happen. So that's what's good about those. Easy. Now, a couple other things. If you want to invest outside of the U.S., there's a lot of funds, and I'm not super researched on that. There's a couple that I like. There's others. There's probably also a really bigger, all countries outside of the U.S. There's all these different funds. You could research that. There's a couple simple ones. EWJ I like because this is Japan. And Japan's been really cool with cryptocurrency. They legalized Bitcoin. So I'm sort of like, okay, and Japan is a big wealthy country. It's not going away. That's a good place to build up a little savings over time. I also like EWS is Singapore. Again, Singapore's government, super smart. Looks like they're also handling cryptocurrency well. And this thing is just a very steady, small country. I wouldn't put all your money in it, but that's a good one. And I've sort of like this, I don't know, I got into this when it was way down because I love Brazil as a country. That's just my own personal fetish, and Brazilian people are generally a lot of fun, I found, when going out in Hollywood. So I bought this when it was low. It's up. I just hold it long term as a diversification. There's so many other internationals. I'm not an expert on it, but you may want to diversify if you don't want just the U.S. I have fans watching me. And so that's for your international investments. Now, two other, like I said, it's just easiest if you just buy the whole market, like I said, the S&P 500 or the whole market, that VTI. If you want to try to beat the market, I have two picks that I like that I think could outperform. One, I made a whole video about it. You can look for it in my list here. IBM I like because talk about old and boring. And this is a company that has sort of underperformed for the last 10 years. They've been in a huge transition because the computer industry changes. IBM has a tradition of changing with the times. Maybe not as cool and exciting as Google or whatever, but now when I see what IBM is doing with blockchain, it looks very exciting. If IBM in 2 or 3 years becomes cool and exciting, which is the feel that I'm getting from them, this thing is priced to be old and boring and kind of not grow. They start growing and they're on the cutting edge with blockchain. I think they're signing up a lot of business. This could outperform. And this is a company that pays a nice dividend. It's been around for 100 years. Pretty safe. But once you start getting into individual companies, you've got to keep your eye on it. If I'm wrong, you may be better off just owning the whole market, right? And my other one I like, and this one I'll tell you what, I think Tesla, when I think about it, it kind of has cryptocurrency type upside potential. Let me tell you why I like it. One of the things Peter Thiel says is in order to start a business, you have to have a secret. In order to succeed, you got to have a secret, something nobody else knows. The Tesla, it's not about electric cars. Every article you see, it's like, well, they make electric cars. Someone else is going to make an electric car. Are they going to make a better electric car? No. It's about the machine that makes the machine. It's about an assembly line with no humans. And nobody else is, I mean, if somebody's working on that, I don't know about it, and they're nowhere near close. They are within months of having an assembly line with no humans. And as Elon Musk explains it, if you have a spreadsheet that does all these calculations, and 2 of the fields in the spreadsheet have to be filled in by humans, how fast is the spreadsheet? Well, it's as fast as you can enter in those 2 cells. If you automate through computers the entry of those final 2 cells, and now all the cells are, the data comes in and is calculated by the computer, how fast is the spreadsheet? It's the speed of light, right? So the manufacturing of cars will be like that spreadsheet with no human entry. And when that happens, exponential. And I believe they destroy the competition. So I like holding Tesla for that reason. A couple other things. I have, in the past, I've been sort of a big fan of Facebook and Google. Lately, I've been phasing out. They've had a great run. I'm trying to reduce my beta, too. In stocks, it's like I have all the excitement I need in cryptocurrencies. For stocks, I'm trying to get a little boring. And so Facebook, I actually already, and thank God I went down 7% yesterday. Been moving that into my boring S&P 500 VOO. I'll remind you again, or VTI. And I'm even thinking, so Google's cool, they got machine learning and all this stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm trying to get even more boring with stocks because I've got all the excitement I need. So I've gotten out of, phased out of Facebook, a little less Google, other things I had that were sort of my beta, maybe I'm right things. It's very hard in the stock market to know something that everybody else doesn't. The other thing too is gold. I used to hold GLD, which is gold. But I really believe in the video I made. Bitcoin disrupts gold. So I sold, got rid of my gold from holding physical gold and moving that to my Bitcoin as my gold. So is there anything else? Oh, one other point too. Another savings way you could save money is owning a house. Now, real estate investment, to me, if you're into it, real estate is kind of a business. I'm all about, and this is part of my age, I'm all about making money with not working. I love not working. So, the S&P 500, when I say not working for money. I work on this channel not for money, but I enjoy it. This is fun, and whatever. So, if you hold this, I don't have to do any work. They say it sends a dividend check, whatever, once a quarter, it goes up. I don't have to work at all. When you own property, I'm not saying it's a hard job, and especially if you're young, it's better than most things. But still, if the refrigerator breaks, you got to get a new refrigerator, and if the heating system, there's a problem, and you got to call somebody, and you got to do it, and if you're renting apartments, it's a bit of a job. So that's not for me. But if you like that, well, that's something. But the easiest real estate, if you live somewhere and you own that house, you're paying rent to yourself, you have a guaranteed renter in yourself, plus if you ever want to rent out a house, if you own a house and you live there for a few years and then you rent it out, your life is so much easier. So they call you up, it's like, oh, the light broke. Oh, go downstairs behind the thing, you'll see a thing, and you go up here, and then you can fix it here, because you know the house. You buy some random house in a state you don't live in, and then they got a problem you don't even know. So keep life simple. But a lot of people, Warren Buffett, who else? I just heard another very good investor talking about house ownership is sort of overrated as far as investment goes because people don't pay attention to how much work and how much money they put into it. And the numbers aren't amazing. You can make them with real estate. Ownership is the key. Ownership, responsibility is the key to making money, and homes are a way. But if you rent and put your money into the stock, VOO, again, you probably do better. Now, some of that you can have timing issues. You could, certain times, You might do better in one than the other. But if you want to get into real estate, the simplest way is if you know you're going to live somewhere for like 5 years, you could buy that place, okay? So that's all. And to have your money in the long run, if you have some money in real estate, maybe it's a house you live in, some money in stocks, safe stocks that you don't have to watch every day and know what the hell's going on. And then for your excitement, and you better pay attention because you got a fast-moving world in cryptocurrency, that's where you get your beta, that's where you can beat the market, and that's where we can go to the moon, baby, Lambos. Thank you. And by the way, I don't like Lambos. I would never buy a Lambo, but that's sort of the say, okay?